Good morning, everybody. It's AllyChat here at the con. We have the usual team here with Claude, Steve, and our special guest, Chuck CDP1965. How are we all?
Good.
Good.
How are you?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning.
Good morning, all, and welcome to our 50th episode. That's right. 50! We were up to 50. Oh, my God.
5-0.
5-0. Wow. What a ride it's been, hey, guys?
Oh, we've got to
yeah.
dedicate today's show to CenturyLink.
I just want to check with everybody in chat to make sure that we're coming through fine, okay? Because it sounds okay on my end, but we've been having some audio issues, which is why Steve had a bit of a stab there at CenturyLink. Just want to make sure if anyone's having any sound issues, let us know.
Well, there wasn't any sound on the intro, I don't think.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I didn't hear any, and I think somebody else said.
I don't. Yeah.
Dwight couldn't hear anything.
Oh, I get a lot. I don't even know if it's my end because I'm getting kind of jumpy stuff. So
Yeah, it's a little bit, Steve, but like I say, worse than it was, when you had it hardwired out. But that's what you're going to have to do is do that or get a booster out there somehow.
Thanks, Roy. We're all 50 weeks older, apparently. But I've got a much better comment here from Bill. We don't look a day older than 49.
There you go. There you go.
Well, I'm way over
we
than
made
50.
it through the year, or almost through the year anyway.
Sorry, that was
God.
Art, not Bill. Sorry, I got that wrong there. So we're celebrating.
So what are you guys all doing this
And
morning?
we've also got a special guest here, Chuck. Can you still hear us there,
Such as
Chuck?
what?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
I can't hear you.
Yeah,
Cool.
Chuck.
I don't.
Now keep in mind I'm on CenturyLink just like Steve is.
Yeah.
And see, now I hear you fine.
You guys gonna have to find a new place to live, man.
Oh, I'm all for that. Hey, but cocaine and heroin are legal here now. So
Well, there you go.
Oh.
Who needs internet?
yeah.
Oh, the trailer park
Yeah,
across
who
the
needs the
street
internet?
from me is real happy it's all legal too.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, Chuck's joining us this morning. I coaxed him to be on the show this morning. He had texted me with a wiring problem on his layout, and so we got on there together, and I think we got you worked out. From what he showed me, I think we got him worked out on that. So anyway, Chuck, welcome to the show. And
Thank you.
I guess we'll just kind of wing this today and see what you're doing on your layout. And one question I always have for somebody, and I think probably everybody that does any kind of interview on model railroaders, how did you get started in the hobby?
Well, I've always liked, trains, and I've had a couple of influences over the years. My grandmother worked, 20 years, 30 years for Santa Fe in Barstow, California there. So I used to go down above the diesel shop when I was a kid to where she worked and to her office there above the shop. And I also had my dad's uncle, which was named the same as me. He worked for a feed granary, farm elevator service in Colorado. And he ended up dying in Wyoming. He had a load of hogs headed somewhere and misstepped and got crushed by the train. So I've always heard that story. And my dad always had model trains around and so forth. So I had some influences.
Okay. Yeah,
I've got a question, Chuck. How long have you had your model railroad? When did you start that?
Oh, I've always about a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay.
Never had the room for to build one, or never had the time. You know, was always working and so forth, and so now that I don't
So
work, I go ahead.
Do you have is your room dedicated to your model railroad, or is your model railroad in a dedicated room, or is it in a different part of your house or in your garage?
Oh, I have a shed that I built years ago. I was rebuilding and repairing computers for a hobby, and it's a 12 by 20 shed.
Oh,
So
wow.
I turned it into a train room.
Oh, that's cool.
About 20 feet from the house.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to have a separate shop like that at my old house, but I didn't have a layout then. I wish I had that now to put the layout in instead of putting it upstairs. But yeah, that's a separate building for it is really good. Because then
Makes it kind of cold when it's snowing out like it is this morning.
I guess so.
Yeah.
To get back and forth to the shed.
Send some of that snow this way, Chuck. Send a little here.
You probably don't get a bunch over the hill there.
Not as much as I'd like. We get it from time to time, but not a lot. You're let's see, you're up near Bend, aren't you?
I'm 130 miles east of Bend.
Oh, okay.
And 130 miles from the Idaho border.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Oh well, yeah, okay. You're over close to those mountains, to the Rockies, then over there.
Yeah, I'm right in the corner of. I've got Idaho, Nevada, and California. I'm right in that corner of Oregon.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I've not ever been in that particular area. In fact,
I'm in the good part
either. I've been to Seattle, and got a email from Expedia. I use Expedia a lot, and I got an email from them said Seattle misses me. I told my wife they're going to miss me a lot longer.
Yeah.
I won't be going back to Seattle for quite a while, if at all. So, but anyway, yeah, I've never been to that part of Oregon, or anywhere in Oregon actually. But in that area, I've never been there, other than flying over the top of it. But I know there's some places in this country that I haven't been to yet that I want to get to.
Well, Oregon's kind of different because you divide it in half, and you know, anything east of the Cascades is almost like desert. I drove through there to Boise once, and I had no idea. It was like driving through the moon. It was so desolate. That southeastern part of Oregon, right there in the Lakeview area. All that. Jeez.
I have desert out my front door and the forest out my back door.
Well,
you're right on the line. You're right.
I could live with that.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I have the Steens Mountains. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Steens Mountains. It's out in the desert between me and Nevada. And then the Ochicos and the Malheur Forest is behind me.
Well, that'd be cool. Well, see, you were talking about Barstow, so I'm assuming you lived down that area when you were younger?
Yeah, my grandparents lived there. I kind of grew up between there and here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was born in Apple Valley, which is just an hour south of Barstow.
Oh, yeah.
If it's even that far. I don't even know if it's that far. So, yeah, we would see the trains coming up through Cajon Pass.
Yeah.
And of course, my grandparents rode the trains a lot coming back to Texas to see their relatives because my grandmother wouldn't fly. So
My
and
dad
I actually
worked
got
a lot.
ride to Santa Fe one time to Fort Worth.
My dad worked a lot on the freeway on Cajon Pass there, going to Barstow. I was born in San Bernardino.
Oh yeah, well we lived in
a lot
Fontana and
down
Bloomington
here.
too.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm familiar with that area. It's completely different than when we were younger though, and now it's crazy down here now. But
you couldn't pay me to live there now.
oh no, you couldn't me either. Well, even Apple Valley, when it grew up and went crazy too. There's stuff out there now that was all desert when I was there, but I enjoyed the desert, and we were close to the mountains too. So that was a nice. I like being in that area. But
I still got family that live there. I've got a sister that lives up in Big Bear, and several aunts and uncles around there.
I loved Big Bear when I was a kid. Yeah, that's what got my love of mountains going. I'd get up there out of the desert, out of the dry desert air, and get up in the pine trees and stuff, and I just fell in love with it. So that's why I model what I model now.
Yeah.
But Colorado's kind of the same way with the Rockies. You get east of the Front Range of the Rockies, and it's not desert, but it's prairie, flat as a pancake, and that's all the way from Montana and Wyoming all the way down to New Mexico.
Right.
So it's strange how that works, but the mountains kind of stop all that moisture and dump it in the mountains, and then it's dry on the other side for quite a while.
Yeah, that's basically Oregon.
Mm-hmm. But,
so, Chuck, is that what you model then? I guess that would be your inspiration for modeling whatever you model. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, I'm not prototypical on anything. I just whatever's in my head. I do get a lot of influence from the Barstow area and Cajon Pass and all that. That's always been a favorite of mine. But as far as modeling anything particular, no, I don't.
Yeah, that whole area from Cajon Pass up through Tehachapi and that whole area, and there's big modeling interest. I see stuff all the time. In fact, I think it's the La Mesa Model Railroad Club, and they have a video on YouTube, and they model all of that, and they've got a really nice big layout that does. I think it does Tehachapi and Cajon both.
I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, you have to look that up. I think it's La Mesa something, but it's their Model Railroad Club, and I think they're in an old depot building.
Oh.
And I don't know where I can't think of where La Mesa is. I mean, I've heard of it before, but I'm not sure exactly where in the LA basin it is, but I think
there's so many little towns that are all right next to one another down there.
Yeah. I've got a good story I'll have to tell sometime about my wife flying for the first time just at dusk as we come off the desert into the LA basin. It was pretty fun.
Moved around quite a bit down there because my dad worked for E.L. Yeager construction back in the 60s and 70s. So he worked on almost all the freeways down in that area.
Yeah.
And,
how'd you end up up in Oregon, up in your part? How'd you end up where you are now?
I think the parents just kind of got tired of living in the city. We moved up here about 1972.
Okay.
And my dad bought a little ranch, and we just moved out here in the middle of nowhere.
I guess.
I can remember we were in a motorhome, and there's a hill there before we got to our new place, and there was so much snow they had to take a loader and make one lane across the top of this hill, and it was the drifts were way above our motorhome. And I thought, man, what is this? I've never seen it that deep since, but yeah, there's a lot of snow here sometimes.
Well, that's funny you'd say that, because I've talked to here in Grants Pass, people that lived here all their life, and they used to get snow here a lot. You know, plowing downtown Grants Pass was common, and
Yeah.
you don't get that now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I used to get a lot of snow here. Hey, on your Helix, how many spirals do you have on your Helix? I was curious.
Oh, let's see. 1, 2, 3. I got 4.
4, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What's the diameter of that? Is it 4 foot diameter? Or is
No,
it
it's like 66 inches from outside to outside.
Oh,
what about
you got like a 30-inch radius in there.
Yeah, 30-inch. Let's see here.
What does the grade work out to? Have you figured that out?
2%.
Okay.
According to
train up that, then I would imagine.
According to a calculator. See, I'm inside the Helix now.
Yours is easier to get into than mine is.
Yeah.
I didn't make it high enough.
Your problem, Claude, is getting out of it.
Yeah.
Getting into
well, once I get down on the floor, it's getting up off the floor. That's the hard part.
There's the wife's chair. When she comes out to visit, she sits in the Helix.
Ah, there you go.
I don't have that problem.
And it's got a pretty big opening.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
That's a huge opening. Well, is that your workbench down there?
That's pretty cool. You could sit in your
workbench. Yeah, that's part of it.
And have your trains go around your head. That's awesome.
Oh, Now, see,
well, I need to get me a handheld. I got 14 feet from right there all the way over to there, and then I got 9 feet from there back in here in the corner. That's all workbench or junk piles, and then this big duck under.
Yeah, I wish I had that much space in my train room. I could put a workbench in my train room, but I just don't have the space for
it. You got too much railroad, Claude.
Yeah. I get a bit off more than I could chew, I think. But it would be nice to have the workbench in the train room, for putting in decoders and all. Instead of having, I've got to go downstairs and do it in my actual shop.
I'm sure running up and down.
Oh. What do you have for heat out there, Chuck? I mean, do you have like a space heater, or how do you keep warm out in there?
I got a little heater. I got that little heater right there.
Okay.
And it's actually warmer in here than it is in the house, the wife says.
Well, I got a strip heater out here, but it buzzes. That's how I have to turn it off during the show because it sounds like a bumblebee flying in here. I need to get a new one.
Yeah, some of those little small ceramic heaters work quite well.
I have this building. I have 6-inch walls that have a lot of insulation, and I have I-beams that I put as the roof with 13 inches of insulation.
Oh wow!
And so it doesn't take much to warm it in here, and it doesn't take much to cool it off in the summer.
Yeah, my shop I had that was detached from the house years ago, I insulated it so well I could heat it with one of those little 9-inch ceramic heaters.
Yeah,
I'd go out there and it'd be cold, and I'd flip that on, and you have to go over and turn it down after about 30 minutes because it'd get too warm in there.
Yeah, well, if I'm out here working for a while, I have to turn mine down because I get to sweating and it's too hot in here.
Yeah.
but it's dry, so I don't have to worry about moisture.
Yeah. Now, do you leave it on? Do you leave the heater on like low or something when you're not in there, or during the wintertime,
Yeah.
or you just let it get
Yeah.
cold again?
No, in the winter, I keep it on all the time.
Yeah, I would think that'd be a smart thing to do, because otherwise you'd have a lot of movement on everything.
Oh yeah, it's got a little thermostat, so it shuts on and off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you build that yourself? You build the shed?
Oh, well, yeah. Me and my son and a couple of friends.
So
It,
excuse me. So what are your plans for your layout? I mean, as far as how far do you think you are from being finished?
He's
Or
going to start laying.
close to finished.
He's going to start hand building turnouts with us, Claude.
Oh, cool.
You know, I've thought of that. I really been looking at that.
Did you?
Just cost wise, I got to save up some money, but these Atlas turnouts I have are brass, and they're going to have to be changed out sooner or later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember those from years ago. I thought they were cool when I had them, but I didn't realize how much trouble they actually were until I had them.
Some of these I haven't used in a while are turning green on the sides.
Oh yeah, yeah, they would tarnish a lot worse than the nickel.
But you know, I had them all in an old layout that was given to me when a friend's dad passed away. They knew I liked trains, and so he sold me, or not sold me, but he gave me an old layout. It was like 10 feet by probably 7 feet, flat, you know, old tabletop layout. So that's where I got a lot of these turnouts and all that off of that.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So cost wise, I'm using what I have. I put a lot of money into what, you know, adding to it, but eventually I do want to hand lay some turnouts.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's not as hard as it looks like it would be. Especially if you've got the jigs, you know, can get the jigs and stuff, and get the right stuff. You know, most jobs are having the right tools, a little bit of knowledge.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the right tools, it makes it a lot tougher to do it, even if you know how to do it.
I agree. And it is fun. It is kind of enjoyable.
It's part of the hobby one of the parts of the hobby that I really do enjoy doing. But I like working with my hands, so that's, you know, that's why I was in model airplanes and in trains earlier when I was younger.
Well, you know, the nice thing about it too,
create something with my hands.
Yeah, if you're all set up with the equipment, you know, the tools and the supplies, if you screw one up, you're really not out that much.
No, the rails and the ties are minimal cost.
Yeah, so
it's once you get the jig, once you get the jigs for it, that's your big cost, and you don't have to go, you know, crazy and buy everything at once.
Right.
But it's definitely not cheap. But if you have enough turnouts you have to do, then it's definitely, in my opinion, it's worth doing. Because by the time you buy all the commercial turnouts you want or that you need, you know, it's going to cost you the same anyway.
Right.
But if you've got the jigs, then you can build more than what you would have bought originally, you know, commercial wise. Plus they look better. I think they operate better.
I think they look better, yeah, and they probably do operate a lot better for sure.
And then once you start doing them, I think we were talking about this on another show. Once you start building them, then you can figure out, oh, I can do this and make this custom this way, and I can do this, and you end up with stuff that that you never thought you could have made, you know, and it looks really cool. Somebody comes in, they go, oh, that's really neat, you know, because it's different than just a regular straight turnout. And
sure.
And you go, yeah, that was kind of fun. I built that, you know. But there again, I think it's worth it if you've got enough to do. If you don't have a lot to do, then it's really not worth doing. But you know,
as far as to answer your question about the layout, I don't know that I'll ever be finished. I haven't even really began on the top level yet, and the only scenery I've done is the mountaintop on top of the helix I started, but I've got a long way to go. Yeah. Probably 4 or 5 years. I don't know.
Well, that's what a hobby's for.
You're not supposed to be done.
Yeah,
right. Never finished.
Yeah, I don't think you ever finished.
We've got a question here from Steve 87th PSAP. He says, or he asks, how far are you from civilization and or a hobby shop?
Oh, shoot. The closest one, closest hobby shop's 130 miles from me into Ontario, Oregon, over on the Idaho border. And it's just a small shop. I mean, it's a big shop, but they only have a real small area of train stuff. Other than that, probably Boise, Idaho.
Man, and that'd be a ways over.
I'm 130 miles from anywhere. We have Bend, Oregon, which is pretty good size, 130 miles west. Ontario, which is the next biggest town, 130 miles east. And then Winnemucca, Nevada, which is kind of small, 220 miles south. And then Washington, about 200 miles to the north.
No wonder you model railroad. There's nothing to do out there.
Hunt and fish. That's about it.
Yeah, there you go.
We used to have a mill here. We the county I live in is Harney County, and at one time in the 80s, it was the richest county in Oregon. We had pretty much the biggest mill here, Edward Hines Lumber Company. Well, matter of fact, there's some train stuff and trucks and so forth over by Train Mountain in a park. Steve would have seen that was from this mill here. And then when they closed it down in the 80s, we become the poorest county. But we used to have a train here that would go to Idaho, to the mill, and Union Pacific had an office here. And then when the floods came in the late 80s, they tore all the track out and shipped the last trains out of here. But the logging company back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, they built a railroad from Hines, Oregon, which is just it's a suburb of Burns, through Burns and up to Seneca, Oregon, towards John Day. And then they had all kinds of, spur routes into the woods to get their trees out and so forth. But so trains would run here all the time, but they tore all of it out, all the tracks, everything out.
Yeah, well, Grants Pass used to have quite a bit of lumber in here. I think there was 9 mills here just in Grants Pass in the city.
Yeah.
That are long. There's what they call them, the teepee burners that look like a cone. We've got one
in the top.
Yeah, we've got one here that's actually only about 3 miles from my house. That's almost 100% intact. It's at a quarry now. It used to be a mill, but now it's a rock quarry that it's Copeland sand and gravel. But there used to be a lot of lumber right here.
I think
the SP. Yeah, the SP.
Yeah, I think Seneca, Oregon still has one of those.
Yeah,
that's intact there where the old mill used to be.
So are there walking trails where the old lines used to be, or
just here in town? They've made a walking trail out of it, but from town up to Seneca, which is probably 35-40 miles away, it's all changed over to private property and so forth. They should have kept the train. It would have been nice if they'd have kept the train and made a scenic train or dinner train or something like that out of it. But I don't know. They just wasn't thinking of stuff like that, I guess.
If they were too far away from major population areas, it would be hard to keep enough people interested in taking the train to keep it running, probably.
Right.
Yeah. I know that's where a lot of them have trouble. I know the narrow gauge, Cumberson Toltec, and a lesser mode is the Denver or the Durango Silverton. That one is a little more viable, I think. Money-wise, it's a shorter trip, and they're in a closer proximity to a major resort area, whereas the Cumberson Toltec is further south of the major areas in Colorado. And of course, it straddles the New Mexico border. And there's nothing really in northern New Mexico there. Chandler's a very small little town, and so is Antonito, where the train terminates in Colorado. So there's not a lot of main flow of vacationers going through there. You have to want to go there to ride it. So they have a much tougher time staying viable.
This train that used to be here is what was the Oregon and Northwestern Railroad. If you want to look it up, they got quite a bit of stuff online. You can see the old Baldwin engines and so forth they had here at the mill.
Interesting. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah,
Oregon and those logging railroads were very interesting.
Yeah.
The logging companies were the ones that built most of the timber trestles.
Yeah.
The big, long, heavy timber trestles that you used to see until they started going to steel. You know, when they move out of the logging area, a lot of times they tear the trestle down and send it to the mill too.
They have on the way to Seneca up here, they have a trestle, and I just found out here not too long ago that back during the war, they had people guard that trestle. They were afraid that they were going to bomb it. Mm-hmm. I could imagine that here in Burns, Oregon, but I guess back then it was a real concern, you know.
Yeah,
I think that was pretty common back then, because I know down in the Bay Area they had bridges in Carquinez Straits being guarded.
Yeah,
you know, during war.
The whole West Coast during the war.
Yeah. Well, I guess they're not too far away, really, from Japan, Hawaii. You know.
Yeah.
Well, they figured if they could reach Hawaii, it was just another skip over, because Hawaii is so much further south than, say, Oregon and Washington area. Mm-hmm. It was a lot closer to Washington and Oregon than it would be to go to Hawaii and then down.
Right.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of questions here for you, Chuck. One question here is from PDRR Engineer. Says, Chuck, will lumbering be the major industry on your layout?
No, I mean, I'm going to have a mill and wood scene and a log train and so forth, but it won't be my main focus. I've got a friend here in town. He doesn't do the YouTube or any of that stuff, but he's been modeling for 50 years. And he is modeling this lumber mill here and the old Oregon and Northwestern route and all that. And he's really good at it. I'd like to share a bunch of his stuff, but he really doesn't want me to. He does fantastic work. And he's helped me some on mine, gave me a lot of tips and so forth, but he just doesn't want to be in the public eye.
I can understand that.
I respect that, yeah. It's a shame, because it'd be nice to see some of his work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and I do share privately sometimes.
Actually, I would have to say he's probably more common than not, people that don't want to get on and show their stuff, that they are very private.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he just turned 70 and he's, in in the transition of moving to his cabin and so forth. And he doesn't, I mean, he's well known in this area, but that's about it.
And there's another question here for you, Chuck, and that is from Crazy Joe 67. She asks, was there any narrow gauge there?
Oh yeah, I from what I've been told, yeah, there was a lot of it, you know, because they'd come off the main line going to the mill. There was a lot of branches off into the woods, and I'm sure that most of that was narrow gauge. And then when the logging trucks came in to the scene, what I guess in the 70s maybe, when they started running logging trucks up to the woods, a lot of that narrow gauge went away because they just build a road in and send a log truck in. We had a lot of log trucks coming through town all the time to the mill, and some of them log trucks, some of the Ponderosa pine, I've actually seen log trucks with just one log on the truck.
Wow.
Through town because the tree was so big. And but it was pretty common to see 3 logs on one truck. You know, so pretty big diameter trees.
You know, I'll still see trucks with 3 logs through here, you know,
really?
Time to time. Yeah. And they're big. They're coming from, you know, from west of here over towards, you know, Crescent City area, because they come in on 199. But yeah, 3 log loads. I don't think I've ever seen a 2 log, but yeah, I've seen some pretty big trees on a 3 log.
Yeah, they were pretty big. Now it's all burning up.
Yeah. Not now, thank God.
Can we actually get a quick look at what's on your cap there as well?
My hat?
That's a good looking hat. I've got one of those.
I don't.
And you have a as well.
There you go.
Right. There you go.
Of course, I've been drinking coffee. I've been drinking coffee since 3 o'clock this morning, so I'm done with coffee. I get up pretty early when the wife works. She gets up about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and starts getting ready for work, and we have breakfast together and start our day. And I don't tell a lot of people, but she leaves the house about 4:30, and by 5, I'm back in bed. So this is a rare morning for me. I actually had to put clothes on this morning.
Thank you for that.
Well, if you guys all want to have a mug or a hat, jump down to the link in the description below. Jump down to our Teespring store where you can get some fantastic stuff like Chuck has. Oh, wait, that's T-shirts.
And there's also keychains.
The keychains as well.
Yeah.
So don't forget to email us about those. We've also got other cool shirts and stuff because we all know you need to get dressed. Pillow, all sorts of fun, cool stuff. So don't forget to like and subscribe as well. And in case you guys missed it last week because I forgot to say it, get the bell on. Ding! Make sure you like, subscribe. Comment down below if you're watching this as a replay, not live. And let's get back on to it.
I want to say something else about the T-shirts and stuff. We've got some long sleeve shirts and sweatshirts now too on the site. So there's a little bit more stuff on there than we had before. But all the proceeds and we've put the prices for all this stuff down to where we're only making $1 or $2 per item, but all that money goes back into the prizes that we give and that sort of thing. So, I mean, it's not going in our pocket at all. It's going to go back to you guys. So all those, you not only get a nice shirt and stuff, but you're also putting money in our prize pool.
Speaking of which, didn't we think about something for our 50th episode?
What's your biggest shirt?
Oh, a shirt for the 50th episode?
Or I know, something for our 50th.
Oh, like a contest? We could do it. We could do a contest for that.
Sure, why
I
not?
don't know what we'll do, but what kind of contest should we do?
We could guess how many locomotives Chuck has.
Oh, that would work. That would work.
Because I don't know, because that was one of my questions.
I don't even know how many I have.
Oh, he'd have to go count them.
Well, that's not going to help then.
Yeah, it only helps if he knows the actual answer.
Well, let's see. What else can we do?
Well, see, I'm right there with Chuck. I don't know how many I have, so.
I don't want to say how many I have.
Yeah. Just in case the wife's listening.
Yeah, I don't want to put it out.
I have a number.
Oh, he has
a number.
Excellent.
Yeah, they all happen to be right here where I could see them.
Ah, well, okay. In that case, everybody, you get one. You get how many people we got on here? We got 16 watching.
Yep.
You get one guess. So put a number up. How many you think? How many locos you think Chuck owns? And he'll tell us because we don't know.
I have no idea.
So go ahead and start doing that and put them up on the chat, and we'll give you a little bit, and we'll come back here in just a minute. And Chuck, if you see the right number come up, keep that in mind who it is. And
the first one who has the right number.
Yeah, first one with the right number. And if nobody gets the right number, then we'll go with the closest to it.
Closest under or over?
Or
does it matter?
How do you want to do that? We'll let you have some input, Chuck. Closest without going over? Is that what you want to do?
That'd be all right.
That sounds fair.
Okay.
Make it a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
I'm watching the YouTube chat. Boy, the videos are really off. But the chat.
Yeah.
There is about a 20-second delay.
Yeah, it delays quite a bit.
Yep.
We'll blame it on Heath.
Blame it on Heath.
In fact, where is Heath this morning? I'm going to have to get on to him.
Right.
Go ahead.
Just whilst we're doing this, we do have another question for you, Chuck. This one comes from Steve 87 SAP again, Mr. Anderson. He says, Chuck, how is the step up in the mountain working for the kids?
How's the what?
The step up in the mountain working for the kids. I've got it written there at the bottom of the screen there.
It's a step up.
I'm not sure what he's referring to there. He might have to clear up that question.
No updates on the mountain. I mean, I haven't done anything on it, and kids, I don't know what he's referring to. Grandkids, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably
which I have a new grandson on the way.
What is that? Hey, Allie?
Yeah?
Our Teespring link is not working.
I thought I fixed that last week.
Well, I just clicked on it. It's not. Yeah, it's not. It says it can't be.
Oh, the viewing platform. That's good. Yeah, it works real good. It's
right.
It's full of rocks right now. I'll show you.
Can you send that to me, Claude, in the private chat?
Well, I'm just going to stick it in the. I'm going to go ahead and stick it in the. I'll just go ahead and stick it in the chat.
I'll pull it up from the comments.
Excuse me. Here, I'll just put it in the chat box. That should work.
Put it in there. I can't pull it out.
Yep.
Oh, you can't pull that out? You can't copy and paste that?
No.
Ah, okay.
That's the platform he's talking about.
Right.
It's full of rocks. Right. I built it so the kids could get up on top, or shorter people to see the top deck. But it's full of rocks right now that I went out and collected in the woods yesterday so I could make some rock molds.
We'll get back to you on the links, guys. We'll sort that out.
Ally, I put it in Hangouts.
Seen. Thank you.
What the heck?
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're not working. It may be something. It may be something on Teespring's site. I was having trouble with them, so I may have to get in there and correct that if there's something there. But I can get it from my computer, so I don't know why it's not coming up.
Boy, we've got a wide range of numbers.
Have you seen the number yet?
There's actually one that is right on, though.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we've got.
I think we got everybody. I think we got everybody that was. I think everybody's had a chance to put their number in.
Now,
Well,
before we
eight.
say who, don't say who it is yet. Okay, you know which one it is, Chuck. Okay.
Yeah.
And since how many do we have? Let's do a second prize. Let's see if somebody can guess who the winner is, and whoever guesses that gets a keychain.
I already said how many there was.
Oh, did you? Oh, well, too late then. Okay, never mind.
But I didn't say who the winner was.
Oh.
Well, maybe we should have a runner-up, Steve. Like, who was the second closest?
Second closest gets a keychain.
Yeah.
I got the second closest.
I like that.
Guys. I mean, we need to make it big. This is 50 episodes. So let's go big. Go big or go home. So who was the second closest, Chuck?
Second closest was Dwight Curley.
All right.
He's guessed a few times, but his first guess was close.
Well done, Dwight. So that's a keychain for Dwight. And who is the actual winner?
That'd be Art at PDRRE Engineering.
Well done.
Wow.
Art.
Congratulations.
That's 17, do you? Oh, my goodness.
8.
All right, Claude.
Oh,
so what's the prize?
Okay. I'm sorry?
What is the prize for the winner?
Well, anything off our Teespring site. Send an email to me directly. That'd probably be the easiest. Let me put that in the chat here. And I will double check to make sure that I type it correctly.
And Dwight, email us with your address so I can send you out a keychain.
In fact, I think Art knows how to get a hold of me. But Art, you can get a hold of me there at that email. And then, Ally, did you get that link put in?
I'm just doing that now.
Okay. Oh, I had the link too. You can probably go to it off of that.
Right,
And pick something out. But you get your choice of whatever's on there that you want, and I can get that for you and get it printed up and sent to you.
Save changes. All right, give that a minute or two, guys, and then try the link again, because I've just updated it, but give it a minute or two for it to...
You probably have to refresh your screen, most likely.
Yeah.
Hey,
Almar was
did you
actually
cheat,
pretty
Dwight?
close too, but he was over.
Did you cheat, Dwight? Oh boy. Steve called you out. You voted 4 times.
Al, you talking about the email that kicked back?
I think he might have been talking about the link.
The link kicked back. No, I think he was talking about the email is what
Oh,
kicked
right.
back.
Yeah, I think. Yep.
Somebody tried the link that I put up in the chat to the store and see if it works okay. That's the one I sent you, Allie, but everybody would have to refresh their screen to get to it.
Oh, hang on. I can probably put it back in again now that I've got it. Oh, look. Ta-la. That worked.
There you go.
Dwight's asking who they should email. I believe that's Steve for the keychain because I think it was Dwight that got second or runner-up.
Yeah, and then send the email to me or to the Back on Track moderator email that's in the description. You can do that too.
What's the biggest size shirt you guys have?
Depends on the shirt. Some of them go up like 4X.
Okay, because that's what I wear is 4X. Do they
And
shrink
you
a
wanna
bunch?
Get the biggest.
If they've got it a little bit bigger, you might want to get the 5X if they've got it. But some of the shirts only go up so high. Whatever shirt they're using, there's that particular one doesn't have a 5X or a 6X or whatever. But I didn't look on all of them to see what they all had, but most of them go to 3X, and they may have some that go to 4X too. You just have to look.
It runs small.
This is actually a 3X, but it's pretty big on me. But the 2X fits me, but I went to a 3X I wear it around the house as comfy clothes, so it's a comfort tee. Most of the ones that I got were comfort tees, except for the long sleeve and the sweatshirts. Everything else is a comfort tee, which is really soft and stretchy, and they're real nice.
They're good quality shirts. I've washed mine so many times now. No fade, nothing.
Yeah, they're really nice shirts.
Just get them bigger than.
You only wear it once a week.
Not necessarily.
I never wash mine.
You never wash yours?
Steve.
Okay.
Never.
Roy just sent me an email on that link that I put in, and I got the email, Roy. And I'll send that to you. In fact, I can do it now, but I will send you. I will send the email back to you, Roy, on that address. So anyway, that link is working, Al. You might try it again right now.
Just while we've got you on here, so we know it works.
Yeah, so I know it's going through. The Teespring link, I may have to fix. The Teespring link, I may have to fix in Teespring. If you're not getting able to go through it, but I can get to it on mine. Did it work for you, Allie?
It worked for me. I got the Teespring site.
Yeah. Okay. So that should be all working now.
The site, and then took the link off the top of the site to make sure. Copied that into the description down below, so that should be right. And I put our email address in the chat as well. So if there's any issues, again, send us an email and we'll have a look. Whilst we're coming up towards the end of our show now, does anyone have any more final questions for Chuck? We've got him here.
I've got to get my screen cleared off here.
Also, one more show for this year. That's right. One more show, and then we're going on a break for a week, and we'll see you all in the new year after that. Our final show will have another special guest, so stay tuned for that as well. That will be exciting. I'm trying to make
they're
it
all
sound
exciting.
Come on.
Well, Roy said he got a 5X shirt like this. They were in 5X, Chuck. So if you wanted one of these, where's your re-railer?
Oh, okay.
You can get that in at least a 5X. Should have a 4X also.
I'll have to check it out.
But some of the other ones, yeah, just check on the sizes on them if you're wanting one and see if it's on there. If you don't see one that's big enough that you want that design, let me know and I'll check some of the other kinds of t-shirts and we can put the same thing on it. I can make another one of those and get it to you if you want just the ring plain back on track. So,
okay.
Or if you wanted a shirt that just had back on track and a big deal on the front or something like that, or trackside on it, you let me know. I can whip up and put on the site because it doesn't cost us anything to do that.
I like Steve's re-railer shirt.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
I'm never going to live that down.
I couldn't help it.
No, you're infamous now, Steve. So.
That's good. Well, and I keep them in the same place all the time now. I never lose them.
Cool.
Hey, I'm always misplacing things. And I could be working with a tool and it ends up missing and it's only a foot away from me.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
well, what's bad is when you're working on something and you're going to look for a tool and you walk down, look all over your shop for it and you can't find it and you look down your hand and it's in your hand. That's when it's bad.
I'll do that with my last.
I've done that. I don't know how many times.
Or when you got a wife
that
constantly moves things and you find it in another room or something on the counter.
Oh yeah. Well, since I do home repair for, not for a living, but that's what I do. And a lot of my tools get transferred from my truck to my shop, to upstairs in the train room. And so when I get ready to go do a job, I've got to go make sure I've got all my stuff that I might have stolen out of the truck so I don't get on the job and not have what I need.
Right.
Okay.
Claude and I had a contest.
Al wants to know if it went through. Yes, Al, it did go through.
What's that, Steve?
Oh, I was just saying, Claude and I were talking a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about dirty trucks and whose was dirtier, who had more crap in their car. I thought I was the winner. Nope.
And we were talking about the stuff inside the truck, not the dirt on the outside.
I said, no way your truck has got more crap in it than mine. It does.
Yeah, I took the camera out there and proved it to him. It looks just like my train table up there when I'm working on scenery. It's just everything's up there. Everything's stacked on top.
Have serious problems.
Yeah, but
we have serious problems.
Really bad. Okay. I think we got off the end of it. Al, I did get your email, and I will send that back when we get off the air here. And
Roy says he bought 2 years.
Dwight sent that email to me, Steve, so I'll forward it on to you. That's got his address on it.
Okay.
And I just got another one from John Galt. I did not see John in here.
Well, there's Bernard C. doing exactly what I do. Put the glasses on top of your head and go looking for them.
Ah, that's Art. Okay.
Those are the perfect shirts, Roy.
Yes, sir, Art. That's what you need to do. Just look at the Teespring store and tell me what shirt. It can be a shirt. It can be a coffee cup. It can be a pillow. It can be whatever you want out of there. We'll get and send off to you. And Al, you can do the same thing, Al, if you'll go ahead and just tell me what you want, what size you need, all that kind of stuff. And remember, try to pick a size over what you think you need because they do run a little bit small. I've noticed that not just with Teespring, it's every place. When we go on a cruise or something and I buy t-shirts, if I get one that I used to wear all the time, it won't fit, and it won't fit in the shoulders. They're just smaller. It's kind of like what they've done with everything else, cut your sugar back to 4-pound bags, and your toilet paper's half an inch narrower, and all
cereal
that kind of
boxes.
stuff.
I'm more of a hat guy.
Yeah. So anyway,
I got like
just send
400 or
those.
500 hats.
Yeah, I got the hats, got all that stuff, but it's all on there, so you should be able to see it, and just send your choice to me, and I'll turn around and get it ordered through Teespring, and they'll send it out. Usually takes them 2 to 3 weeks for you to get it, because they do the printing in batches. So if you don't get it right away, don't get too alarmed, but if it goes more than 3 weeks, let me know, and I'll check on it. Plus, I know mailing right now is crazy. They could ship it and it could sit in a warehouse for a week, before the mail picks it up and sends it on. I've got several things that have been sitting in Dallas and one in Denver, and they're not coming. My wife's got something coming from the West Coast that's sitting in Grapevine, Texas for the last 10 days.
I've got something sitting in Indianapolis.
Yeah. So
Maybe they got to be.
We can't do anything about the mailing like that, but we will. If it goes longer than 3 weeks, let me know.
There's a question here from Crazy Joe. I believe this is for you, Claude. Do you make bandanas?
I don't know if they've got bandanas on there. They do have face masks, and I can whip one of those up if you'd like. But I don't know if they've actually got a true bandana. I have to look on there. But I will check, Joel. I'll check on that and see if they do. If they do, I'll make one up and let you know somehow. Maybe next week. I could do that. I can do it this week and let you know next week.
Well, that just about wraps it up for us, guys. That's the end of our show. Can everyone just give us a quick round of applause and thanks for joining us?
Chuck.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks for
having me.
Again, to all those winners for our competition. And again, happy 50th.
Happy 50th.
Happy 50th.
Makes me feel young again.
Me too.
Yeah, no lie.
Of course, if you like this and want to hear more, don't forget to write in the comments below, like, subscribe, get the bell on, and
Thanks, Joe.
all our links. We've got some great stuff down there. Buy a keychain. And we'll see you next week.
We'll see you guys next week.
Take care.
You guys all take care.
See you then.